Your mind doesn't create problems by accident. It does it for a very specific reason. It was designed to keep you alive. For thousands of years, humans lived in environments where anything unknown could be a threat. A strange noise in the bushes? Could be a predator. An unfamiliar shadow? Better run than risk it. The brain learned that anticipating problems was a way to survive. Those who stayed constantly alert lived longer. Those who relaxed too much didn't make it. That pattern got hardwired into our biology across generations. The problem is that today you're not running from any predators. But your brain still operates as if you are. It still scans the environment for threats. Only now, the threats look different. An unanswered message, a meeting tomorrow, a bill to pay, a situation that might go wrong. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real lion and an imaginary worry. To it, both carry the same weight. And that's where the cycle begins. You think about a problem. Your brain triggers the alarm. Your body reacts as if the danger is real. Your heart speeds up slightly, your mind sharpens into alert mode, you start imagining more ways things could go wrong. And what started as a small thought becomes an avalanche. But that's not the whole story. Something happens right after that makes everything even harder to control. When your mind invents a problem, it doesn't stop there. It goes further. It starts building an entire scenario. Characters, conversations, consequences. A complete script of the worst that could happen. There's a technical term for this in psychology. But forget the name. What matters is what you already feel. You suffer before anything actually happens. You mentally rehearse the difficult conversation before you have it. You already feel the shame of a mistake you haven't made yet. You already experience the pain of a loss that isn't real. Your mind puts you inside the worst possible scenario, and you live it as if it were true. And here's a detail most people never notice. When you stay inside that imaginary scenario long enough, your body starts to believe it already happened. The exhaustion you feel after a night of racing thoughts is real. The tightness in your chest is real. The burnout is real. Even though none of it actually occurred. You spent real energy suffering over a problem that only existed in your head. And there's more. The longer you feed this cycle, the stronger it gets. Every time your mind creates a problem and you follow it in, it learns that this is the right way to function. It refines this behavior. It gets more and more efficient at constructing worst-case scenarios. It's like a muscle. Except it's the wrong muscle you're training. And when you understand this, you start to see that there's a very specific pattern fueling this cycle, one that almost nobody ever identifies. There's a pattern I see repeating in almost every person who overthinks. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of intelligence. It's a mental habit that was built up over years, and most people don't even realize they have it. The pattern is this. The mind treats uncertainty as danger. Whenever you don't know how something is going to end, your brain interprets that as a threat. It can't tolerate the empty space between now and later. So it fills that space with assumptions. And the assumptions it chooses are almost always the worst ones possible. Why? Because in the past, overestimating danger was safer than underestimating it. Your brain would rather be wrong about a threat that never comes than be caught off guard by one that does. But there's an enormous cost to this. You live on high alert all the time. You never truly rest. You can never fully enjoy a quiet moment because there's always some uncertainty floating around, and your mind won't let you be at peace while it exists. You're not suffering from anxiety. You're paying the price of a protection system that was never updated. And here's the part that changes everything. You can't just switch this system off. That's the mistake a lot of people try to make. They try to stop thinking. They try to force their mind into silence. But the more you try to suppress a thought, the stronger it comes back. It's like trying not to think about a pink elephant. Now you're already thinking about it. The solution isn't to silence the mind. It's something else entirely. And it's simpler than it sounds. Because when you stop fighting your own mind and start understanding what it's actually trying to do, everything shifts. The shift begins when you learn to do one simple thing. Notice that a thought is just a thought. That sounds obvious. But it's not. When you're inside an anxiety cycle, thoughts feel like facts. They arrive with such force, such clarity, that they seem like absolute truths. This is going to go wrong. I won't be able to handle it. Something bad is going to happen. And you believe them as if they were reality reports. But they're not. They're interpretations. They're hypotheses your mind created to fill a space of uncertainty. And most of them never become real. The first step is to create a gap between the thought and your reaction to it. When your mind builds a dark scenario, instead of stepping into that scenario, take a step back and ask yourself, is this a fact, or is this an assumption? Most of the time, it's an assumption. And when you name it, when you say to yourself, my mind is creating a worst-case scenario right now, that thought loses part of the power it had over you. It doesn't disappear, but it shrinks, and you get to breathe. The second step is to stop trying to solve problems that don't exist yet. Your mind will throw 1,000 questions about the future at you. And the answer to most of them doesn't exist yet, because the future hasn't happened. You can't solve now what will only have an answer later. Every time you try to resolve a future uncertainty in the present, you spend real energy on something that has no solution yet. That's wasted energy. What you can do is act on what's within your control right now. Only now. Everything else is speculation. And speculation exhausts you without resolving anything. And there's one last thing. The most important thing of all. Something that, when you truly understand it, changes your relationship with your own mind forever. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. It's not a technique. It's not an exercise. It's a shift in perspective. Your mind is not your enemy. It never was. It's on your side. In the clumsy, imperfect, sometimes exhausting way it knows how to be. When it creates a problem that doesn't exist, it's trying to protect you. The wrong way, sometimes. With an excess that wears you out. But its intention was never to destroy you. The problem isn't your mind. The problem is that nobody ever taught you how it works. So you grew up thinking that overthinking was a flaw in you. That you were weak. That other people could switch their minds off and you couldn't. But it wasn't weakness. It was a lack of information. Now you know. Your mind creates problems because it was programmed to do exactly that. It fills uncertainty with worst-case scenarios because, at some point in human history, that's how people survived. It drains you because it was never updated for a world where most threats aren't physical. And when you stop fighting it and start understanding it, when you learn to observe your thoughts instead of stepping inside them, it begins to lose its grip on you. Not overnight. Not without setbacks. But gradually, in a way that's real. You don't need a perfect mind. You just need a mind you understand. And that understanding starts exactly here, with what you just watched.